So here we want to take a look at another cyclohexane, six-membered ring, but here I've got an extra methyl group. So this is a substituted molecule. It's got a methyl group substituted for where one of the hydrogens was. So in this structure, if I, again, when we talked about the cyclohexane, if I keep the ring flat, it's going to be pretty unstable. I've got the angle strain inside the ring. 120 degrees actually isn't really unstable, but if this angle inside the ring expands beyond 109, it pushes the electrons closer to the hydrogens outside the ring. So there's some instability associated with the electron groups getting too close together on the same carbon. That's angle strain. That makes it unstable. There's also a lot of torsional strain, right? Any flat ring, every atom in the ring, the groups attached to that atom are going to be eclipsing. So this hydrogen here and this hydrogen here in the same on the adjacent carbons, their electron clouds are eclipsing, cause some repulsion there. And that happens all the way around the ring and is especially unstable when this methyl group or any other larger electron cloud than a hydrogen is there, because now I've got this methyl group hydrogen eclipsing and they're even closer together. That causes even more repulsion. So I want to definitely get this into a chair conformation to alleviate the angle strain and the torsional strain, make it much more stable. So again, to make the flat structure into a chair, I'm going to grab every other hydrogen on the top and every other hydrogen on the bottom and pull them closer together, and I can feel the molecule relax and the angles get into a 109. Now I've got this kind of zigzag in the base of my six-membered ring. I can also imagine it as a chair where I've got the head and the feet, and the four carbons in the middle are like the base of the chair. My little guy's sitting here, hanging out on the chair. So as we said before, when we're dealing with the chair, we've got axial positions that point straight up and straight down from the chair. And then we have equatorial positions all the way around, kind of pointing out from the ring, out and down a little bit, or out and up a little bit. Notice my methyl group ended up in an equatorial position. That is the most stable position for any group with a large electron cloud. Because you can see the electron cloud's kind of pointing out into space. There's nothing else really over here with electrons to cause repulsion and make it unstable. If I go back to the flat ring, instead of grabbing every other hydrogen the way I did, if I grab every other hydrogen and include the methyl group on the top, and then grab every other hydrogen on the bottom and pull those closer together, what I'll get is another chair. But here I see my methyl groups in an axial position. It's pointing straight up from the ring. And what I see is it's very close to the other axial groups. So I want the most stable molecule will avoid any group with a large electron cloud getting into an axial position, because that causes it to get close to the other groups that are also in axial positions on the same side of the ring, causing a significant amount of repulsion. So this molecule is the same molecule as the one where the methyl group is in the equatorial position. It's just rotated version of the same molecule. So you want to be able to rotate from one chair version to another to figure out which is the most stable. And you want the large electron clouds to not be in axial positions where they're repelling, causing it to be unstable. So if I have a large group in my axial position, I just put my thumb on that carbon and push it in the opposite direction. So now temporarily I have an upside down boat. I've got these flagpole interactions here. I've got some torsional strain on the bottom of the boat. We talked about that. And the boat's, for those reasons, the boat's not stable. So if I push this carbon down, I need to push the other carbon up. So let's just go back for a minute and redo that. All right, so here's my chair. Feet of the chair here. Crown or headrest of the chair up here. This methyl group's in an axial position. I don't want that. So I'm going to push the head down, and I'm going to push the feet up. So the feet will become the head of the chair. The head of the chair will go down and become the feet of the chair. And so that's a flipped version of the chair. I'm not flipping it over like a pancake. I'm actually rotating the single bonds, the carbon-carbon single bonds. So I'm going to flip the head of the chair down, and then that creates the temporary boat. I'm going to flip the feet of the chair up. And then I can just kind of fix it by grabbing every other hydrogen on the top and every other hydrogen on the bottom, just kind of like making sure that they're relaxed and pointing straight up or straight down. And now I see I've got that methyl group back into the more stable equatorial position than the axial position. So practice with your model getting the axial and equatorial positions. If you've got them, you should correctly have the chair. Practice flipping the chair to get the larger groups into the more stable equatorial position versus the axial position. And then practice drawing those if you want to share any of your drawings with me so I can make sure that they look reasonable. The textbook does a good job of explaining how to do the drawings, but I wanted you to see with the model so you can make a connection between that and what we talk about during lecture with the screen capture and what's in the textbook.